Everybody, I'm Josh.
I'm Jace.
And we're going to watch My Hero Academia, Season 1, Episode 7. The episode is called...
Deku versus Kacchan.
Because of course it is. Last time, Deku, he did a sick-ass judo throw on a Kacchan. Just boom! And then, you know, hopefully he'll kick his ass. And then, you know what he'll do? Is that he'll, like, poke Kacchan really hard with the finger. And send him flying. He'll just
be like, he's like, just gonna like dodge all of Kacchan's attacks and just get super close. He's just gonna touch his forehead.
That might kill him. If it's a finger, it might be like a bullet.
Unless this is where he finally learns not to use full power.
Yeah, that is an interesting idea. All Might said he's either firing at nothing or everything. A zero or 100, not 0 to 100, 0 or 100. I think it's interesting because the power is called One for All, but right now he's firing at all or nothing, which I think is interesting.
The power is not called All or Nothing, though.
I know. Well, that's what it is.
Sounds like there could be a power like that.
All right. Okay. I like the... I was thinking about Uraka's power. I think it's a cool play on telekinesis. It's not exactly telekinesis, but it's like... And there have been, like, characters who have, like, gravity powers, but nothing like hers. Like, if there's like a person who's like being crushed by a car, you could just like wing and then just pick up the car. That's interesting. I remember last episode I made the joke about like, oh my gosh, what if Uraka touches Kacchan and then he goes for the explosion and just boo sends him flying the other direction. He goes to fucking space. He never came down. Alright, just a reminder, if you want to watch this reaction in its entirety, it's available on our Patreon, link in the description below. Pledge $1, you get access to our entire viewing library.
And if you pledge $3, you can watch the next episode right now.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, now we go. I gotta get these songs on my phone, dude.
Even though they're in Japanese?
I don't need to know the lyrics, they're good.
Dude.
I'll fake it.
Dude, I love the idea that like he was just a normal kid who was just talented at like little things like skipping stones and bouncing balls. And then he got a really powerful quirk. And he's like, I'm fucking awesome. It's interesting because I guess that would happen in this world. Like if you're given a power around really young.
It's going to change your perspective.
No, it's going to change your personality. Like part of...
whatever.
Your personality, your quirk will become a part of your personality as you grow older. That's cool. But like, so he hates Deku because he tried to help him out when he tripped over the water.
He hurt his pride.
His his shredded ego. Oh my goodness. I will admit something. When they were like running at each other at the final end, I realized I had seen this before. I saw this, like, that clip of them running at each other and, like, blowing each other up. I didn't know it was this show, but, like, it rewound my brain.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this. I felt like I see something out of this before, but I remember it differently. What I remember is Deku, whatever it is I'm remembering a character who had super strength, but their body wasn't fortified to handle super strength. Like, he'll lift like a giant bus because his muscles can do it.
But his bones can't?
But his bones, yeah, exactly.
God
his bones
damn
just
it.
break.
God, you gotta stop breaking your bones, man. We're only 7 episodes in. I'm like, you gotta stop. I can't keep looking at this for...
I'm calling it. By the end of this season, he will successfully use the One for All without hurting himself.
There's only 6 more episodes in the season.
So?
That's a bit of a stretch. No, I think what'll happen is he'll learn to like dial it down. Like it's either 0 or 100.
I'm not saying he'll use 100. I'm saying he will be able to use the power without hurting himself.
If he's going at 0 or 100, I think he's eventually going to learn to like dial it down to like 10% or 20%, whatever his body can handle. Because like, oh my gosh, because you can't give your main character that type of power right off the bat. It makes him too OP, which isn't a fun viewing experience. Unless you're One Punch Man.
Well, that's not the... Well, I mean, there's a different plot behind that. So.
Yeah, like when it comes... Like, this show falls under the category of, like, other shows, like Naruto and Black Clover. Naruto was this underdog who couldn't do anything, but it turned out he had the best tailed beast sealed inside of him, and that's why he's so strong. Asta had
the nine-tailed fox.
The nine-tailed fox. Asta apparently had like the best magic. He had the ability.
Wait, who now?
The main character from Black Clover. Oh. He has the ability in a world where everybody has magical powers. He had the power to cancel out their magic. So it's he's basically like the eraser guy, Aizawa. He had.
Can you think of any examples from semblance out of Ruby?
Yeah.
Mercury's dad.
I was about to say Mercury's dad.
Semblance.
And so the way they work around is you can have an overpowered character as long as there's like a drawback. Like in Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, you had Reverse Flash, who was overpowered compared to the rest of the characters, but he couldn't stick in one place for too long, otherwise the fact that he didn't exist anymore would catch up to him. Or in this one, like All Might is overpowered, but he's got a time limit.
He can only do it. He said he can only do it like 3 hours at a time.
3 hours a day.
3 hours a day.
Which, I mean, what's gonna be happening in a day to where you? I mean,
that's basically apocalypse level stuff going on.
Yeah, you might want to save it for like when what's his name for when
shit absolutely goes down.
Save it for when Madara shows up, okay?
From who?
Naruto reference.
Oh.
Okay, so
another example actually about that is now we both are kind of working on our own kind of characters that would be in Ruby. Now the semblance for my character I've thought would be superhuman senses. Like he can hear really well, he can see super far away. But what I've thought is similar to how Deku, he'll only increase the sensitivity. But if like an explosion goes off while he's amplifying his hearing,
it'll fucking hurt.
It'll hurt like a bitch.
Yeah. So like Deku, I like the idea that he has, again, he was an underdog that no one believed in, and he was bestowed great power. He gets the best quirk, and the fact that it's too powerful for his body is like an interesting drawback. And then,
but of course, there's someone who has the quirk that could just stimulate his healing ability.
Yes, thank God. It's like, have you seen that meme where it's like the big book and the little book? It's like the big book, My Hero Academia. The little book, My Hero Academia, if Recovery Girl wasn't a character. So when it came to like the first 2 episodes, I really thought the show was going to be about like Deku somehow getting into the hero school without any superpowers, and like how does he succeed? How does that work? I thought that would have been like an interesting idea. Now, like, he gets a power, and it's just, like, he's the same as everybody else.
It's weird that he's not just, like, telling people... I mean, like they said, it's like, in the last episode, All Might said, oh, it's fine, you can adjust your, entry, you can adjust your application because of changes to your quirk, because most people find out their quirk works differently than they initially thought. Why can't he just make... Oh, I unlocked my quirk super late in my life. More late than normal.
What about people who think they're quirkless, but their quirk is like completely useless? Or like with Sylar from Heroes, he thought he didn't have any powers, but his power was like completely understanding things. You know what I mean? Like he worked in a clock and watch He worked at like a clock and watch store. He would look at a clock or a watch and just completely understand how it works, you know, with the gears and everything, and like why is it broken, why isn't it working?
You know, the only thing I could see him doing in like assisting in a hero versus villain world like that is sabotaging a villain, something like that.
So there's got to be like some people in this universe whose powers are completely useless. Like, I gotta figure out what some of these other characters' powers are, but they're gonna tell us. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure there's like got to be like a person whose power is like X-ray vision, and that's it. They'd be a good doctor. They'd be a good, like, bone doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
Deku needs to meet that person. X-ray eyes. It's like, X-ray eyes. Oh, God, you done did it again, didn't you, boy?
Yeah, I mean, well, you have to think, in a world like this, I feel like there's something for everyone. Like, they can make their quirk work in some way. It's not always necessarily in a superhero sense.
But then there's, like, the people whose, like, their powers affect their appearance. Like, there's the guy with 6 arms. And then there's that one girl who's pink. Like, her skin is pink, her hair is pink.
She has weird antennas.
And then there's the girl who's invisible. Like, you can't... It doesn't look like she can turn it off. There's... What else is there? There's that one guy, he's got, like, a rock face. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And then there's that one dude. The dude who's dressed up like a wrestler with the yellow costume, you know what I'm talking about? He got some lips. He's like, dude, you get some collagen? You know, forget.
How about that little short, like baby looking dude?
The purple guy?
Yeah. What the hell did they do?
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
He's a little kid who somehow got into the school. It's interesting. It kind of just justifies like characters having weird like characteristics, because that's like a thing in anime.
I'm thinking of someone made a comic where it's Batman and Superman talking. Superman's laughing at Batman. Your worst enemy is a clown. Batman's
your worst enemy is a rock. Yeah, I just.
Why is it that there's so many different types of kryptonite?
I don't know.
That's weird.
It's weird that Superman's allergic to rocks from his home planet. He would have been the wimpiest motherfucker on Krypton if it didn't explode. It's like a bunch of Krypton.
Well, I think
bunch of Kryptonians.
Because of well, I mean, they didn't have superpowers on their home planet,
I know.
So
I know.
Being on Earth, they get those powers dampened.
Yeah,
aren't dampened.
All right, we're kind of skewing it away. I wonder how much because this came out at I think 5 years ago.
4, I think.
So pretty much when superhero movies were taken off. So I think this was made because oh, superheroes are taken off. This is the perfect time to adapt this manga into an anime. I knew the manga.
April 3rd, 2016, the very first episode.
That's like a month before Civil War came out. Okay, so I think I remember reading that the manga for this anime, it 2 years in a row won Manga of the Year anime awards. I just want to know so I don't know. I want to know what the rest of the season is going to be. Are we going to get the rest of those fights? You know, because it's not just Deku and Kacchan and Uraka and Ida. They're not the only characters doing the things. The rest of them are doing it. How many are there?
I'm not sure.
There's 15 or whatever. 15, 16. I want to know, is that what the rest of the season is going to be about? These smaller fights? Probably not. I can't imagine they'd devote that much time to the side characters. Just a reminder, if you want to watch this reaction in its entirety, link, description, Patreon, $1. I'm tired of explaining it. It's just you know what to do.
We got to pre-record something, so we could just put it at the end of every video.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jace.
We'll see you guys in the next one.